The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the May 6th, the terrific Tuesday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. And let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. Now, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But more important than that, and that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to send me an email, send it off early, send it to steve@tfnn.com. Inside the subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our Tiger's Den, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on Terrific Tuesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Well, we begin our day with a sea of red out there. All the U.S. indices that we track trading the downside. Dow's off 153 points, about 0.4%. 0.4 for the S&P or 22 points. 0.7 for the NASDAQ. That's a 135-point move. 0.6 for the Russell. 12 points there. 1 8/10 for the Trannies. 250 points. The semis are down 1 1/4% or 52 points. We've got gold that's trading up $77 at $3,400. Silver's trading out at $32.99. That's up 80 cents. Light sweet crude is trading at $59.50. That's up $2.40. Natural gas up a nickel, trading at $3.59. The 30-year Treasury is back right now, about 7 ticks, print out 114.09. Our leaders in the clubhouse to the upside dollar-wise, led by Regencell Biosciences, $35 move, 37%. Constellation Energy, $23, 9%. Regal Rexnord Corporation, $15, 13%. Neurocrine Biosciences up by $12. That's 11% move. And Limbach Holdings up $11. That's a 11% move for it. To the downside, led by Transdigm Group, 72 points, nearly 5%. You've got Vertex Pharmaceuticals, $60, 12%. Eli Lilly, $25, 3%. Regeneron, $25, 4%. Crystal Biotech, $22. That's a 14% move. So the healthcare sector, biotech sector getting hammered this morning out there. Let's begin our day by taking a look at, new equity future contract profiles that are forming. Not going to be so easy to see that here. We'll come back to those. Let's take a look at the overbought conditions, see what's going on inside the New York Stock Exchange. You can see that now we are trading back below the minus or the plus 150 level. So that overbought condition is being worked off as we speak right now. Will that overbought condition continue to move lower? Well, the answer to that question would be yes if we had the spot VIX index trade above the 50-day exponential moving average, but we do not. The spot VIX index is trading out as we speak right now at, give me a moment here, the moving average is at 25.74. That's the 50-day, and the spot VIX is trading at 24.22 out here. Let's go take a look at this chart. A little bit easier for you and me to see out here. So we take a look at the spot VIX here. You can see the 50-day at 25.74. We're trading again to 24.22. Now, if we close above the 50-day exponential moving average, you got to do it for 2 consecutive days. But what it would do, it would trigger a message that sellers are the ones in control. We don't have that as we speak just yet. Don't know if we're actually going to get it out there. What else do we need to take a look at on this set of charts? I don't think much. We can always come back to it. So let's do this here. Perhaps the most important time frame to be watching inside the equity future contract for those of you that are day traders is the 2-hour time frame. Now what you see is a TD9 count bottom pattern that would form inside the ES Mini if at 12 noon, this bar closes at 12 noon. Of course, my bar is open all day long, but this bar here closes at 12 noon, and price needs to close below 56.41.75. We're trading above that right now. So that pattern may not, in fact, come to fruition. Won't know until 12 noon, but you've got the numbers to watch. The NQ has confirmed a TD9 count bottom. It completes that pattern now. So it is likely to rally up towards the 19,970-ish area. That's its oscillator and change line for this time frame. If price is able to move above that, it would target its TD9 count breakdown resistance area 20,070. When it comes to the Dow Equity Future contract, much like the ES Mini, it needs a close below bar number 5 at 12 noon. That close would be 41,166. We are trading below that as we speak right now, but just by a smidgen. So that's the level to watch, 41,166 come into the 12 noon time frame. And for the NQ, for the Russell 2000, the RTY, it's going to need a close below 1997.10. We're trading just above that right now at 12 noon to confirm a TD9 count bottom. So I would be paying attention to these charts out there. Do they form those TD9 counts? Well, we know the NQ has already done that. Can the N, even if the others don't, can the NQ power the markets higher? I'd have to say the answer to that question is yes, but it would be better if this was more synergistic. In other words, all four time frames were giving the same message out there. So that's one thing to be watching during the day. For those of you, well, it doesn't matter whether you're a day trader or not, if you're trying to get some type of directional message with regard to what the market's intent is, that's what I would be looking at that 2-hour time frame chart. Let's go take a look at the intraday signals as well for other time frames out here, and we'll do that by taking a look at continue now with the NQ out here. So give this just a moment to populate. I don't know why it's taking so long. Already had these things set up. What a bummer. So the daily time frame. Well, now we're going to do that when I take a look at the all four daily equity future contracts. But since I don't want to have to wait, if you look at the very bottom panel of our screen out here, what you're going to see are 30, 15, and 10-minute Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom signals. Now, in each case, they are suggesting higher price. Now, the higher price they're suggesting is 19,937.75. That happens to be the top of the 10-minute profile. If price is able to close above that, it would add to the idea of a further rally, that further rally being, again, at 19,973 area, which is the 2-hour time frame oscillator and change line out there. You can see the NQ. You can see its new daily profile, bullish in structure. I will note that this profile has formed above the prior profile. That is a bullish directional signal from a profile standpoint. So that's suggesting that the bull run is not over. And that is with regard to the NQ. Let's see how quickly we can populate this set of charts here for the ES Mini, see what kind of message it has. I'm assuming along the bottom panel, we'll see something similar, which are Rhodes Momentum Indicator signals for the 10 and 15, maybe the 30-minute chart as well. Now, the 60-minute time frame chart probably has a buy the D point bottom pattern. But like the NQ, we've got those same set of signals out here. Now, in the short-term basis, the 10-minute that is, we're watching the 56, 52.75 level. That's the top of its profile. If price closes above that, we're looking at 56.58. That's the 2-hour oscillator unchanged line out there. Here you can see its profile. Now, its daily profile has formed within the prior profile. That suggests a consolidation pattern may be forming. But nowhere, anywhere is anything suggesting that we're in a bear market. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the Opening Call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. I got the charts up for the DAX here. I want to close these down here momentarily, but we've talked about the directional correlation that it has with the NDX 100 out here. The DAX is looks like it's going to go ahead and form a sell the D point top. Now, it doesn't appear to be it's not a Japanese bearish reversal candle, at least not just yet. If we're to trade a little bit lower, you get a bearish piercing dark cloud cover candle out there. But what we can see is that the high and low of yesterday was exceeded. As long as price closes one tick in the negative direction out here, which is likely to unfold, you get a key reversal bar. So that does have a top. And in fact, the DAX then could pull back towards the 23,325 area. But what's interesting to me about the DAX, at least at this moment in time, although it's got a TD9 count top for the weekly time frame, which found support at its breakout level. And so that says that the work to the downside is over. You still have to be able to take out its highs. And if you look at the monthly time frame chart, you see we're in bar number 9 this month, but it's bar number 7 so far. That's the high. So we don't have a TD9 count top. We don't have any kind of a top when it comes to the monthly time frame chart for the DAX. So what does that mean? That means we don't have any kind of significant top in the marketplace, at least not just as of yet. That could change towards the end of the month, or it could change next month, because this is only bar number 9 for that monthly time frame. So I just want to be able to throw that out there, just simply because of the directional correlation and correlation itself that it has with the NDX 100. So let's do this here. I'm just closing these charts out. It's going to get us to a blank screen, and it'll give me just a moment. Once that closes out, here we go. I want to get over to the daily equity future contracts, give you those numbers, then we'll start taking a look at the requests that have come in. Basically, we've touched on the ES Mini, so you've got that profile. You can see that it is a profile that is within the prior profile. That suggests a consolidation. The NQ suggests a bull market out there. And in fact, the NQ says you got that buy zone. So you'd be looking to take a long position in the NQ between 19,221 and 19,455. That's even if price gets down there. Why might price not get down there? Well, if you look at the very bottom portion of the screen, what the message of the ES Mini is we're in a strong bull market. How is that the message, Stevie? Because we traded higher for 9 consecutive days. You don't do that in bear markets out there. Typically, I would say. I haven't seen that. And so that's a suggestion of a change in trend out here. But now and today will be day number 2, likely. Let's see if it is. I mean, maybe the ES Mini finishes higher by the end of the day, but likely this is going to be day number 2 to the downside. And in strong bull markets, which is really the signal from the ES Mini, forget the profile, just the cadence, if you will, the dance steps down below, is that we should see a bottom today, and we should at least see a rally, tomorrow out there. We take a look at the NQ. Again, we've already touched on it. It already has a TD9 count top that gets completed today. Maybe it's going to target its oscillator and change line in the buy zone out there. That's between 19,221 and 19,455. But perhaps it's only going to be now in the case of the and the NQ out there. We have seen since the bottom 1 3-day move to the downside. So for it, maybe it's not a 2-day move. In the case of the Dow Equity Future contract, much like the ES Mini, its profile is within inside the prior profile. That's a message of a consolidation. Will price get down to its buy zone between 40.030 and 43.69? I don't know, but we're going to find out. Russell 2000 has a completed TD9 count. It does not have a new profile, and it is strong like bull. That ain't no bull out there because price is trading above and continues to find support at the top of its daily profile. Now, maybe by day's end, price closed below 19.99, but right now it's trading above it. And that is a bullish message, meaning that it overall changes to neutral because it does have that TD9 count top out there. So that's what's going on. We take a look at the daily equity future contracts. Now, let's start moving into some of the requests that have come in. Would love many more, so feel free, if you're inside the den, to go ahead and post things. And, of course, send me an email, steve@tfnn.com. The first request coming in from a GTE this morning, XPEV, one of his or her favorite positions out here. And what do I have for XPEV? Well, I'm going to start with the monthly time frame. And on the monthly time frame, things look pretty good out there. Why pretty good? Because prices trade above profile resistance, it trade above its oscillator and change line, but it seems to be more of a consolidation pattern. So let's go take a look at the actual consolidation. Let's draw it in, and that's what's really in place longer term. I think longer term on the email, XPV, if I read it correctly, you're looking for this to take off topside. Well, if it's going to take off somehow topside, it's going to have to take out this consolidation pattern. That's all that it's been doing. It's been doing this consolidation since March of 2023. Now we take a look at the weekly time frame chart. TD9 count top. Price remains below its oscillator and change line, 2067. One thing I can assure you, as long as price remains below its weekly oscillator and change line, it's giving you no signal that it wants to move up to take out the highs or anything along those lines out there. In fact, what it's signaling, as long as it's below that oscillator and change line, it has lost its momentum and likely to go retarget 1597 out there. But it also has been really in just a 4-week sideways move out there. How about the daily time frame chart? The daily time frame chart, which had a Rhodes momentum indicator top, did find support at its breakout level. The breakout level being that red horizontal line at 1633. Prices rallied since then. It is traded above the top of its profile at 1946. So on a daily time frame, as long as price remains above 1946, then most likely it should rally further. Again, 2067-ish being a place where you could see a top. But if I read your email correctly, I believe you're saying you're seeing that this is getting ready to take off topside. I don't see it, but that's okay. We got different set of eyes, and maybe I've shared something with you that will assist you. But as always, thanks so much for your request. Duncan, inside the Tiger's Den, has got a couple of requests as well. KLAC is the first one, so let's go take a KLAC Corp out here. These charts should be populated. And if we take a look at the monthly time frame, TD9 count top consolidation with inside its daily profile, found support at its buy zone between 623 and 685. On the weekly time frame out there, it's just trading with inside its daily profile. Don't know if that's a bottom pattern that formed out here. It looks to me like the answer is yes, and that would be a Gartley buy pattern. Let's just go ahead and confirm that. Let's just draw on the A to B line. Let's move now that over to the next highest high that forms out here. That turns out that it's here. Yeah, so this has a Gartley buy pattern for its weekly time frame, and as long as price remains above 678.35, you're likely to see 741.86. So that's a longer term message. How about on a daily time frame? Beautiful TD9 count bottom ran all the way up to its TD9 count breakdown resistance level at 724.17. Backed off, but it just really was traded with inside its profile. So, Dunk, as long as price remains above 675.14 or thereabouts, I have to say thereabouts because that's the oscillator and change line, and as you know, price will change, but as long as price remains above that level, it should rally. This is going to be day number 2 to the downside, it looks like. So that rally should continue and begin again tomorrow. But weekly and monthly, things look hunky-dory. And daily, not too shabby out there. So that was KLAC. You want to look at the CFLT as well. So let's go pull those charts up here. I think we've got them right here. We do, and that's a beautiful thing. Now, on that daily time frame. The daily time frame has a TD9 count bottom. The only way that pattern gets negated out here, Steve, is with a close below the bar following bar number 9, and that is at 1827. That is your key support level, is 1827. You close below that, you're likely to head lower because you'll also be below the breakout level, the TD9 count breakout level for the weekly time frame. We're not, as we speak right now, and on that monthly time frame. So we'll come back and finish off CFLT, but not the best monthly looking chart out there. We'll finish it off as soon as we get back.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
This year has already been a wild ride for the market. We started off heavily in the red, traversed back to all-time highs, and we now have a trade war looming. Trying to play this chop as an individual trader leads to death by 1,000 cuts. Where does this market go next? Should I add to this position or cut my losses? Where is the next opportunity? Tariffs? Trade wars? Analysis paralysis. Don't become a victim of this intense market. Instead, join Larry Pesavento for the second and fourth Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading. Larry has been through many markets just like this one, and the insight he provides is invaluable. The dates for this month are April 11th and 25th, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. Get in here and let's start trading. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Trader's Edge is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. So as we take a look at these charts here for CFLT, not a whole lot of traders in a winning position in this. So I would just pay attention to that daily TD9 count bottom. That's going to be your key threshold level. And again, that number is going to be, to the downside, is 1827. If we get a close below that, the question is, do we also close below this hammer candle from January of 2023 on a monthly basis? That low is 1660. We would not. So that would be then the next downside price target. If we close below that on a monthly basis, CFLT is going lower. So that's the best that I've got for you out there, Dunk. Hope that helps you out. And let's go to our next request coming in from Sharky. AUST is a ticker symbol out here. So let's get back to that. That would be right about here, I believe. So AUST, Sharky. So the monthly time, no idea what this is, but a monthly chart just not providing us with any information other than I can give you profile levels at prices trading in between. $1.03 at support, $1.51 at resistance. On a weekly time frame, we have a TD9 count bottom pattern that formed out here January 17th, 2025 out there. And since then, it has really just been a sideways move with the green oscillator and change line. You can see that holding as resistance. And where's price on a weekly basis rallying right now? Right into that oscillator and change line. That's at $1.35. So I expect we'll get to $1.35. That also is the top of the daily profile. Now, if we can close above $1.35, that gets you to the 144, 153 area. But right now, that green oscillator and change line, which is where it's trading right at this moment on the weekly time frame. Now, it may trade above it intra-week, but that's just going to be the key level to be watching when we come to Friday. It's only Tuesday. Does price close above that? But then really what you'd want to see is price closing above $1.44, the top of that weekly profile out there. So I believe you said you were long, Sharky. I don't see any reason to not stay long out there. Just realize what you're up against with regard to resistance areas, with that $1.53 being a pretty key one. I believe that was also similar on the weekly, the monthly time frame was $1.51. So 151 to 153 is going to be the area that you really need to have your guns ready if price tries to take that out. Ron writes in, wants to take that gold. So I gave just an earlier synopsis on gold, and that was basically that price should go target the top of its daily profile. So let's go ahead and pull up the gold charts out here. The top of it, why did I say that? That's a good question out there. And the reason I said that is because price is trading above its green oscillator and change line. A green oscillator and change line tells us that the price oscillator is above zero. That's a bullish condition. When price is above the green oscillator and change line, tells us we have a rising price oscillator above zero. And so that is bullish. Now, what price is likely to do is target the top of its profile. And that is at the 34.15 area. If price can close above that, it'll go target its recent highs out there. Will it do that? Well, if we're looking for intraday topping signals, let's look at the 5-hour time frame chart. At 2 p.m., you're going to go ahead and confirm a TD9 count top. That will complete itself at the end of the trading session. The 4-hour time frame chart is going to confirm and complete a TD9 count top at 2 p.m. out here. On a 2-hour time frame chart, a TD9 count top has been negated. Did it ever form? It did not form. So in this case, it has a wave number 7 top. That's letter G. That needs a lower high to confirm for its time frame. TD9 count top is going to go ahead and form here at 12 noon on the 60-minute time frame. 30-minute time frame has a Rhodes momentum indicator top, but if price closes above 3406.40, it negates that signal. Your question specifically, Ron, was what about overnight action out here? Well, where's price going? That's a great question. As you know, the tools that we look at have got tops for the daily, weekly, and monthly time frame. We've covered that ad nauseum. I have put the qualifier out there that, and we've taken a look at it. I can't pull up my other black background charts right now, but we've looked at the premium associated with gold. It has nothing to do with inflation. It has everything to do with regard to the wars and the geopolitical unrest that we basically have in the world out there, and with Israel renewing its vows, so to speak, I guess, to just obliterate the Gaza Strip, just clear it out there, that could just simply disregard all the technical patterns. But I've been able to share with you at least the signals to be watching for all those different time frames that are suggesting that as price gets up to the top of that daily profile, that in fact is a top and that price may trade lower. But I don't know that it will trade lower substantially, at least not while all that mess continues to go on. So, Ron, I hope that helps you out. As always, thanks so much for your request out there. I put in a request, but I didn't write down who asked me for it. My apology for that. DSVSF out here. Oh, that's not it. Okay. Did I cover that? I don't think I covered that. So, but did I put that somewhere? Give me a second here. No? Well, let's do it right here. Stevie thought he had that done, but DSVSF out here. So let's go pull up that symbol. Again, my apology. I don't recall who it was that asked me for that, but that doesn't really matter. DSVSV on the daily time frame right now is taking on profile resistance. That's up $2.12. It's trading at $2.13. Will it take that out? I don't know. But if it does, likely to head higher because it's taking out a sell the D point top, and that's up the 212 level as well. So 212 is going to be the key level for you to watch and observe today. If we close above that today, it negates a TD, it negates a sell the D point pattern, and you may be getting a daily profile change in trend as long as price closes above 212 again tomorrow. The weekly time frame needs to close above 212, but it needs it at week's end. Not today, not tomorrow, not Thursday, but Friday as we close. If it does that, it will negate a TD9 count top, it will negate a Rhodes momentum indicator topping pattern out there, and as well a sell the D point top. So 212 is really key. What's the monthly chart say about all this? Says, I've got no clue what the Sam hell you guys are talking about because I'm ready to continue its rally. So the monthly is strong like bull. The daily and the weekly may be getting that message today and on Friday. So let's go take a look at the next request out there. This one is coming from Dan inside the Tiger's Den. Wants to take a look at Wolf. WOLF is a ticker symbol. And the question is, where is a spot or area to add to a position? Well, we know on the daily time frame, Dan, that we've got a TD9 count top that is in place out here. And price is trading with inside its daily profile. And so as long as that remains, the likely area to buy right now on my chart is between 313 and 324. If price were to close below that red oscillator and change line around 313, you know how to calculate it, so I know that you will be watching that. If price were to close below that, then the buy area would be between 215 and 250. Let me just take a quick peek here at the monthly chart. The monthly chart has a TD9 count bottom pattern. I just want to confirm that it's still in place out there. To negate it, it needs a close below, and I just can't tell. It needs a close below 241. Where did we close? That was at 355. No. So you got a nice monthly TD9 count, and price is trading above its oscillator and change line, right? Something we haven't seen since, quite frankly, September of 2022. That is a very positive sign for the Wolfman out there. And you got price traded above the top of its weekly profile. So I'm going to go with, as far as place to add, consider between about 313 to 324. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. So the next request is from Dan in New York City, and Dan wants to begin a position in SRS, which he says is the inverse of the real estate sector inside the S&P 500. So we'll look at both out here, but I really wanted to take a look at, in essence, the underlying instrument out there. I don't know if SRS is a single, a double, a triple, or what have you. But when we do take a look at the real estate sector, XLRE, inside the S&P 500, you can see that yesterday completed a TD9 count top. What this should lead to is it should lead to a retracement to its oscillator and change line. That would be the first target to the downside, and that's at 40.89. If price were to get below its red oscillator and change line, again, that price is going to change up and down a bit. It would then go target the 39.98 to 40.25 level out there. So if this is the inverse, meaning the short side of the XLRE, you've got a signal to take that short position now. You've got to do the risk-reward determination because price is traded above the top of its profile out there, whether that is worth it, because that could be strong support out there, again, between 40.25 and 40.89. Let's see what the weekly chart has to offer. The weekly chart shows what? It shows that price is simply trading with inside its profile with a sell zone between 42.24 and 43.05. So the good news there is that's not stopping you from taking a short trade out there, because that's a sell zone. We look at the monthly time frame chart. We also have price trading with inside its profile. And as long as price remains on a monthly basis below its green oscillator and change line, which is printing at right now as we speak, pretty much where price is at. But let's find out. 41.77 and price at 41.76. If price starts taking above that 41.77 level, it offers words of caution. Caution meaning that price would, in the XLRE, get up to the 42.24 level. Now let's go take a look at SRS out there. So I hope that helps you out, Dan, with regard to at least understand what the XLRE message is. Is there any different message? I don't know the answer, but let's find out here momentarily for SRS. We should see the opposite. We should see a TD9 count bottom pattern, which we do. That completed yesterday. We can see a new profile that is formed, bullish in structure, 47.55 to about 47.90, I guess, but 47.91 being the buy zone out there. Well, that's interesting. If price closes below the bottom of your profile here, 47.55, 47.49. Sorry, 47.49 is the bottom of the profile out there. That would be a cautious signal. But you're looking to take a long position. You're right at the bottom of its bullish structure daily profile. Now is the time to fire away. Now, again, I don't know that the reward risk is there because it may only travel up towards the 49.55 level. That's that daily oscillator and change line. It's where you and I, we don't know the answer to that, whether that is where price will stop there, will go up towards the top of its profile at 50.81, or will it really rely upon the XLRE chart, which is what I really believe. So you've got to be able to explore both out there. But with regard to SRS out there, if that's the only thing I looked at, now is the time to fire away, Dan. So hope that helps you out, and best of luck to you with regard to whatever action is you decide to take. Nicholas writes in and either is long or would like to get long United Airlines out here. So let's take a look at UAL, which is trading out at 74.41 right now. Let's start with the daily time frame chart. The daily time frame chart has a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom, and that led to yesterday getting all the way up to its TD9 count breakdown level at 77.41, where it found resistance. Now, price was pushing, well, I can't say that. But price remains, so it ran into resistance. And you clearly, Nicholas, know where resistance is at. So would you buy at 74.43 knowing that 77.41 is resistance? Probably not. Certainly not something I would recommend. I don't know whether resistance can get taken out or not out here. But price is also above in essence, what we support, old resistance, being the top of its daily profile, 71.41. So you're kind of in that no man's zone out there. Well, let's look at the weekly chart. Weekly chart formed a nice TD9 count bottom pattern. Price is traded with inside its profile. No reason for it to not get up to the 80.79 level. I say no reason, with the exception, we know the reason. And the reason is because sellers are located at 77.41 out there. So you got to get above 77.41. And then if you do that, then you've got resistance, Nicholas, at 80.79. So it's not really like you've got this, again, I don't know your time frame, your trading style, or what have you. But right now you're up against that resistance on the daily time frame. If you were going to buy for some type of short-term trade, then wait for price to get back to its oscillator and change line. I don't know that it's going to do that, but around the 67.22-ish area out here. Now, this is also, you could trade it this way. First, not get in any position unless it pulls back. And because price has been above the top of its bearish structure daily profile for more than 2 consecutive sessions, a retracement back to 64.94, that would be a beautiful thing. That would be your buy point. Now, if price closed below 64.94, let's say you got into it on day 1, and day 3 it closed below 64.94, I take my small loss out there because that would be a signal you could be seeing 54.16 out there, and really you don't want a $10 move on a $70 stock out there. On the monthly time frame, you got 75.75. Its oscillator and change line is also resistance. So we're looking at a bunch of resistance that price is near to. I can't suggest that you take that long position now, but I've provided you with the information that you need, so I do hope that helps you out. We had a request to take a look at Tesla. Stevie, again, didn't write down who made that request, so my apology, but we are going to go ahead and pull the Tesla charts up on our screen out here. And we've got Tesla. I think it might have been GTE. Yeah, it was GTE. I know that. And price in the case of Tesla, so we know we've got a daily bottom. We've got a weekly bottom. We've likely got a monthly bottom. The monthly bottom was just simply pulling back to profile support. Its buy zone between 212 and 243 out there. So what's going on with Tesla on the daily time frame? The daily time frame is a consolidation with inside its daily profile. Support is at 266.03. If you were looking to take a long position in Tesla, I'd do it around 266.03 out there. We look at the weekly time frame chart. Price remains above profile resistance. We've been above it for 2 consecutive weeks. So what's its nemesis? Its nemesis is that green oscillator and change line. Currently printed at 295.18. You need to see it close above 295.18 out there, GTE, to suggest that Tesla really wants to make a run. And at that stage, that run would then take us to 304.62, the top of the monthly profile. You close above that, then you are off to those races, and those races will take you to $433.20, right to the tick. I'm just kidding. But it'll take you up towards that level. That's that weekly TD9 count breakdown resistance level. So consolidation on a daily basis, a bullish signal on the weekly time frame with resistance overhead, and on the monthly time frame chart, really the next resistance level is this 294.80-ish type area out there. So I hope that helps you out. You also want to take a look at the Hang Seng. So let me see if I can pull that chart up on, I don't want to do it there, only because it'll take too much time, but I can do it here, I believe. So let me let this chart here populate. Now, I don't have the data feed that I need for this, but because the Hang Seng is closed, it still should populate HSI, I believe. Yeah, Hang Seng. Where's the index? There we go. So we'll pull this up here. I wish I could remember. I know that I think it was a Shanghai that negated his TD9 count top last night, not the Hang Seng, but hopefully momentarily here we'll get those charts up on our screen. I take that back. So the Hang Seng negated his TD9 count top yesterday. The Shanghai did it today. That tells you that the Chinese markets want to rally. In the case of the Hang Seng out here, the daily time frame says 24,230, but the weekly says, hey, you've got to pay the visit or pay the price, pay the token at 22,886 out there. But you do have a negated TD9 count top for the Hang Seng out there. So I hope that helps you out, GTE. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We come back, we're going to take a look at Hecla for Rich in Oregon, who's looking for an entry price.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. So the question from Rich is, can I find a good entry price for Hecla? HL is the ticker symbol. And I'm going to ask you the question, why Hecla? And the reason is because the charts here for Hecla are a bit concerning. And what I mean by that is if we look at the weekly time frame chart, which did form a TD9 count pattern back in January 3rd, led to a nice little rally out there. But then what transpired on the week of April 4th out here was price took out that TD9 count bottom. That was the B point of an A to B equals C dependent on the downside, did it with volume. The volume on that bar was 108 million shares. The swing point Had volume of 51 million shares. So now you have a confirmed A to B equals C dependent downside that gets you towards 357. We're trading below the bottom of the weekly profile. There's I don't have any other information to suggest otherwise out there. The daily time frame chart, I don't have any real clear signals that I can see. The monthly chart is testing profile support right now at 474. We're actually trading at 472. I think you want to look elsewhere, Rich, for some other trade. Hecla looks like, or wait until Hecla gets down towards that 360-ish type level out there. Well, that's what I see when I take a look at those charts. I do hope that helps you out. And as always, thanks so much for taking the time to write in. Let's take a look at ticker symbol here, SBSW. This is for Dan inside the Tiger's Den. And Dan is twitching, thinking that maybe this is moving into a sell area. And that's going to be day number 3 of a rally to the upside out there. And price is trading into its daily sell zone. That's between 494, which we hit this morning, and 509. So that's what the daily message is. Now, it may only take you back towards 477, that green oscillator and change line. If we look at the weekly time frame chart, Dan, I don't see any kind of a topping pattern. I can see a consolidation, if you will. The consolidation established, you've got a nice dark cloud cover out here from November 1st, and a couple weeks ago, another dark cloud cover. So that kind of sets the highs, if you will, around the 5 1/4 level. But I want to share with you on a monthly basis, prices trade above the top of its profile, which is 484 out there. So it's early in the month, but that's a bullish signal. So I do hope that helps you out. Folks, thanks so much for tuning in. I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow on Wonderful Wednesday. But in the meantime, please have a terrific Tuesday. Take care and be safe out there. We'll see you soon.